Okay guys, so when a guy's turtled up here, it's tough to open him up, so we're gonna go over a couple techniques to try to open up and get the back, and then we'll go over some submissions and stuff from here. So guys turtled up like this, I'll like to try to go with a seat belt, and then I'm gonna try to drive him forward. So as you'll see, my heel will hook his ankle here. In wrestling, it's called like an Iowa or a sundial. It's a little bit dangerous in jiu-jitsu because the guy could go left arm shoulder roll. I kind of catch my leg in here and attack here. So make sure you have that seatbelt nice and tight before you sink that foot in there. So I'm gonna go seatbelt. I'm gonna kind of drive him forward with my knee here, and then I scoop that near ankle. I got a good lock here. My knee is gonna go on top of his thigh here, and as I'm driving forward, kind of falling to the side, I'm also using this bite on his ankle here to stretch his leg open a little bit, which will help sink this bottom hook right here. Always want the bottom hook. Once I got the bottom hook in, I'll scoot a little bit so he lands in my lap. Secure the bottom hook. If I don't secure this bottom hook, he's going to use his right foot, step on my foot, and his hips are going to be gone again. Right? So when I have that, I want to secure it. I want to stretch it, open it up, and then as I put that second hook in, I'll also take his hand, put it behind the back, and attack the neck all at the same time. But right now, let's just start with being able to open up this turtle here and try to secure the back. So again, seatbelt, drive him forward, I use my heel, I hook, knee on top of his side here as I drive forward, stretch that bottom leg, sink the bottom hook, scoot if you need to so he lands clean in your lap, secure the bottom hook. Everything's tight here. He's gonna probably be balled up, so I gotta prepare that. I gotta stretch it and then go to the wrist. As I'm putting the hook in, I put it behind the back and attack the neck all at once. So one more time. He's turtled up. I'm gonna go seatbelt, bottom over top, drive him forward, sink that Iowa or Sun Devil, something in wrestling they call it. Knee on top, drive him forward, stretch that leg out, drop the bottom hook, stretch him, hand behind the back, attack the neck. So same thing, the guy's turtled up, tough to open him up. I'm gonna reach around here, I'm gonna grab the far lapel, my knee's blocking his, my hand's blocking his elbow, and I'm trying to tip him. I'm gonna try to tip him to his side. I try to go knee on belly, almost always they're gonna re-turtle away. When he does, I just kind of ride that, I sink that bottom hook in that way. Same thing, I can try to drive him forward and sink that bottom hook, and stretch him out and get the top hook in. Sometimes the guy's tough, I can go with a power half also. Lock the power half, stuff the head under, kind of fall to the side, it'll open up this side and stretch him out, and then I can put the hook in and attack the back. So, he's down. I'm gonna use this far lapel, pass it to my outside arm here. My knee's blocking his knee, my hand's blocking his elbow, and I kind of jump away, pulling all the weight this way and blocking the post. And I try to go knee on belly here. If he ends up going flat, that's fine, but he's gonna turn to his knees. When he does, I ride that bottom hook in, secure the seatbelt. Sometimes you can jump that top hook in, but guys are defensive pretty good. That's balled up, closed off. I'm just gonna go arm behind the head, under the shoulder, lock. You can use the gable grip, lifting this elbow, stuffing his head underneath that armpit as I fall to the side, secure that bottom hook, and then start to open him up and take the back. Here in the turtle, pass that lapel, block, jump away, here, turns back, right here. Again, you can climb that hook in, that's great. If you don't have the flexibility or he's defending really well, we'll go power half, driving him forward, lifting that up, open him up, and take the back. So now, we'll talk about attacking from here. Maybe not able to get the back, but trying to get some submissions from here, from the turtle position. So I put my knee in here, post this leg out. I'm gonna open this collar with my right hand. This hand's gonna feed underneath. Thumb goes in as far as I can, take the slack out. You can go with the cross collar, wrist, or this little thigh pry. I prefer the cross collar. So for the clock choke, I'm gonna take one step out. My hip is underneath his shoulder right now. My hip needs to slide over his shoulder and fall right into this little pocket right here. So my second step, my hip will slide over, 2, By the time I get to number 3 and I put all my weight down, head down, almost always you're gonna get the tap right here on that clock choke. So a basic clock choke. Knee in the side, posting out like I'm knee on belly. Open, feed the collar, take the slack out, cross collar, wrist, or thigh pry. Play with all those, see what you like. Step out, 1, 2, 3. Almost always it's gonna finish there. The guy's my size, you okay? The guy's my size, I'm gonna use my bicep and stuff his head under his body as I do this roll. And he's gonna do a big flip. And I'll guide him right into my lap here, and I can finish the cross collar choke this way. So again, clock choke from the turtle position. Knee in the side, posting out. Open the collar, feed it. Cross collar is what I prefer. Stepping out, 1, 2, 3. Almost always gonna finish it here. I don't wanna slide my arm off his head because I'll fall off the top. It doesn't, this rolling technique is not as good when the guy's bigger than me. If he's my size or smaller, I'm gonna roll, stuff his head under the body, guide his hips right into mine, and take the hooks here. When I get here, this cross collar choke's really tight, but I can kind of push him down, and then I'm gonna step over, clearing this arm, and I close my feet where this leg is on top of the arm that's choking him. Then I secure other leg on top. This is double bow and arrow here. I'm gonna scissor my legs, pinch my knees, and then pull. Super tight choke right here. Obviously you have your triangles and your arm bars and stuff here too. One more time, he's down, knee in the hole, step out to the side, open, feed the collar, cross collar choke here. Step out, start to work my clock choke. 1, 2, 3, almost always they're gonna tap right here. If not, stuff the head, guide him right into my lap, and then I push him down. Almost always he's gonna be using his hands to try to pull my sleeves and do that kind of stuff, right? So I'm gonna use my heel coming over, kick that arm free, make sure that thigh is against my wrist here, so when I pinch my knees, adds a little bit of pressure, squeeze, and stretch. Double bow and arrow. I can also use that rolling technique with just the seatbelt. If he's down and I got a good seatbelt here, I can just jump to the side, use my shoulder to stuff his head under his body. And I can open up that way too, to take the back. Another choke from the turtle position, not just the clock choke, because a lot of guys will be pulling this collar away. And if I can't get that collar, I'll go to the near collar here. 4 fingers in the near collar. I'll just circle in front as I loop. As I catch the head, my other hand goes under the armpit, along with my head, and I roll them across. I tee off, I'm gonna snake out, belly down, teeing off, and snaking this hand straight behind his head as I tighten that collar. Also a loop choke from the turtle. Then he's down. I'm looking to set up my clock choke. Maybe I can't get that collar, he's defending it. I'm gonna go near side, 4 fingers in here. He's not really expecting this. As I put my knee down in front, I'm gonna loop my elbow under his head, securing that neck. Head and arm go in the hole. My arm's gonna snake through and behind his head. I walk my hips out till I tee off, and then I belly down, and I just snake this hand straight behind the head, take off any space, and I pull that collar to secure the choke. One more time. I go here, can't, loop, swoop. We're here attacking. If the guy's ever up on his hands, which he should never be, I'm always gonna try to take one of those arms away. I love attacking the arms with my legs here. Anytime a guy puts his arm between the legs, I'm gonna try to keep it and make him pay for it. So if he's up on the hands, for sure gonna take that arm away. If he's on his elbows, sometimes I can still get in there. I can use my hand to pull it away to step. If he's using his left hand to try to peel my hand off, I can open it up and stretch. And some guys will even put their arm in there, right? He's gonna try to go to a single leg, right? He should never put his hand between the hole though. So however I get that arm trapped between my legs, if it's in the knee pit, I sit on it and I pinch it down and I secure it. Still attacking the neck here too, still attacking the collars. My right knee is gonna go behind. As you can see, I'm gonna slide it back and I'm gonna bring it in, I'm gonna push his elbow to the floor. I wanna staple his elbow to the ground, and then I put all my weight on my right knee and I just lean and lift his hand, and he's feeling a little Americana there, right there. You can secure the figure 4 too if you'd like. Some people like that, that's fine. Americana with my legs from the turtle. However I get the arm, I catch it, he puts a hand in there, however that hand gets in there. When it's in the knee pit, I sit on it and I bite it. I put all my weight on it, still attacking the neck. Right knee staples his elbow to the floor, and I just lean and lift his hand up. And he's feeling Americana. Again, you can go figure 4 here if you want to. It's always gonna be there. If the hand is any lower than the knee pit, any bit, just a little bit lower, I figure 4, and I try to straighten his arm. Once I take it to that straight point, I don't keep sliding where I lose it, right? It's 2 different moves. It's a slide and then it's a hip in. So I want to slide it till I catch his wrist and his arm straight, and then it's just hip right on top of the elbow. So however I can catch that hand, I will. If it's in the knee pit, it's Americana. If it's any lower, I'm gonna figure 4, I curl my feet up, I wanna have a good bite, I stretch until the arm's straight. It's a feel move, so you gotta do it a lot to find the feel. You're gonna slip it sometimes, but that's part of learning it, right? And then from once I get it straight and my knee's at the wrist, I don't go any further, I don't wanna lose it, I just hip into it. Super tight. Super tight. One more time. However I catch that arm, straighten it, hip in, straight arm bar. All right, so same thing, he's down. I catch this arm. You know, for whatever reason, he may switch to grabbing the other leg. In wrestling, a lot of guys will put their arm in there, he'll wing this arm and he'll start to go into a Peterson. And a Peterson's good for wrestling, but in jiu-jitsu, now he's in a crucifix, right? I got a seat belt, I got his arm. I can start to attack this arm. I can attack the choke with a collar, grabbing his shoulder, even grabbing my collar. So I'll have those options if he tries the Peterson. I can also manually put the arm there. If I hook it here, I can straighten it out, and then I'll switch my other leg crossing under, and I'll get a good bite that way, right? It kind of forces him into that Peterson position. Once I get here, I'm looking to attack the arm the other way. We've done Americana, we've done straight. Now his arm's bent down, I have to figure out how to put some pressure in that Kimura motion. So there's about 3 or 4 ways we can get into finishing this move. Number 1 will be, I'm sitting on it, his head's down, so my arm comes out. I secure the elbow. I'm gonna do a shoulder roll into him. He's also gonna roll with me so his arm doesn't get injured. I'm rolling, I'm trying to secure the triangle, and I scoop this foot. Right away, I wanna scoop this foot and try to cover his body, because if I don't, he's just gonna sit up and turn into me, and he's gonna be in control. But if I can scoop this foot and keep him on his back until I can start to sit up and cover the body, this hand goes over the chest, under the armpit, this hand's gonna go to the knee. He's probably gonna have a strong grip here because he can feel that I have a lot of power here on his arm. I don't try to crank the arm here. I pull it away, post, lift my hips up, and I pull his arm behind his back in that Kimura motion. A lot of power there. However I hook this arm, he reaches in, whatever it is, I end up with it on this backside leg. Sit on it tight. I'm gonna try to do a shoulder roll into him. As I roll, I'm trying to secure my triangle and scoop his leg, just to slow him down from sitting up and turning into me. I'm gonna start to cover the body as I scoot back so I can sit up. As soon as I sit up, I'm looking to grab the knee, adjust my hips, cover. Pretty stable here. He's gonna probably have a grip on his belt, something strong here. So I don't try to put the pressure down, I try to take it away. Post, hips come up, very carefully walking that hand behind his back. Same thing, whether I start here and I pass it off and it ends up in that backside. Again, I can go with a forward roll. Big strong guy knows I'm going for a forward roll. He's gonna get his head up. He says, no, you're not. I step around this corner and I do this reverse crossface where I turn his head away with my tricep and peel him back to his back. I just sit back and he'll go. Same thing, cover. Keep this tight in the knee pit. Sit up. Take him where he wants to go, right? His head's down, we're gonna forward roll. If his head comes up, I step up and I peel his head back. Bam. Cover, cover, up, bam. Super tight, super tight. And then if he does do that Peterson roll to me, right, he gets me here. Same thing, I can look to attack the neck like we were just talking about. His collar, his shoulder, my collar, whatever it is, it's gonna be tight for him. But back to this arm bar. I'm scooping the leg, I free my arm, I sit up, and I'm right back here into this Kimura with my legs. One more time. However his arm ends up between my legs, I'm gonna attack it. If it's at the knee pit, it's Americana. If it's lower, it's straight. If he moves it or I move it to this back leg, it's Kimura. Whether it's forward roll, reverse cross face, maybe he Petersons me. Secure, it's secure. Even though I might be attacking the neck, I still have this arm ready for when this arm gets free to come up and pull the arm away. Hips up, pull it behind his back. He's down again on his elbows, knees in the hole. Another way I can just get into that crucifix. I'm gonna go under for my power half. I'm gonna lift up, putting a lot of weight on this elbow, and then my knee is gonna slide this elbow out. I hook it, and then I just pull him back into my lap. Once I get here, I can look to attack this arm with a straight arm bar. I could pass it off and start to get into the series we were just talking about. Again, always check for this, his collar, his shoulder, my collar. Different grips to look for that choke. My arm gets free.